Wow. This is the toughest job, I reckon, being a reflection speaker. This is my second year doing it, and you're all intimidating. You're all uniquely special. 4 powerful women have just dominated this stage with truth bombs, honesty, authenticity, and compassion for the world. If you listen to what they said, they were offering solutions and propositions that weren't about making their lives better. It was about making our society and our state better. I wanted to, before I get to each of them, just reflect on this domain. What is it to be valued? What is it about humans that seek out this sense of, I must mean something? But more importantly, what is it about us that doesn't freely give that to every other human? What is it about the word love that actually scares us? The commission that I run is the Queensland Family and Child Commission. We have a vision that all Queensland children are valued, loved, and have their rights upheld. For a government agency to say that children should be loved actually caused concern amongst the public servants. Is it really our job to love children? And we are so embedded, I think, in our mindset that romantic love is the only type of love, the Hollywood version of love, or maybe the sporting version of love, where as a grown middle-aged man I can love a cricket team or a football player, but I can't tell my dad I love him, or I can't tell my son I love him. And I think that's what we want to change, and I think that's what 4 powerful speakers have just reminded us. We have to share love for humanity, and I will outline in a moment some of the actions I'm going to take. But if I could encourage each of you to take an action, it would be to use the word I love you a little bit more outside of your romantic relationships. So to Emma Rose, you highlighted so perfectly that sense that I think we all feel from time to time of unworthiness, and your comment about the moments that test you, I think definitely rung true for me. And your powerful opening that my daily needs came second. I'm sorry for that, but I also hear you. And I think if there's something I can do in my role, it's to gather together 3 powerful speakers from today who've all spoken about the rights of carers and children as carers and sibling carers, and commit that I want to work with all 3 of you on a campaign that we take to the federal government and the state government around your rights, around your needs to be supported. As you said at your conclusion, carers need assistance too. And I heard you. To Nell, I've heard you speak a couple of times, Nell, and it's always a delight. But today you shared a vulnerability that I'd not seen before, and I wanted to especially thank you for that. You stood here bravely talking about not your past and not your lived experience, although you did do that. You opened up your mind to us and what happens in your mind, and that mental health problems are hidden was a key quote I wrote down that you said, and that your mind can hold you hostage. What a powerful way to express the human experience that we don't always see. But you didn't just present problems and the 100 days of waiting, the 100 days of risk, the 100 days of being unsafe. You came here with resources and fact sheets and learning modules and a QR code, because you're focused on how do I keep other people safe, and that is so admirable. But I think in the room we do need to share those resources, and we do need to be more aware of it. But for those of us that work in government systems, we need to bring down that 100 days. That is not okay. I would prefer that to be services on the spot. It will take us time to get there, and that's why your resources are important. To Leah, one of your opening comments, my rights are questioned and denied. And from that point, the entirety of your speech was just littered with truth bombs that cannot be denied. You presented evidence and emotion and the human experience in a completely undeniable way that we do need to think differently as sector leaders, as members of governments, that it's not okay that the strongest opposition comes from the people that understand it the least. That is never a good way to make policy. And so I hear you, and I want to do more work with you on how we're advocating both with the Mental Health Commission and the Human Rights Commission, who we've spoken about and with. But let's keep going, because as you say, lives matter. And then to Lily, you echoed that feeling of belonging and wanting to belong and having to make small accommodations. And the social model of disability that you outlined is so clearly the right model. And in roles like mine, I often question, well, why do we have the model we have? It doesn't seem like anyone here would defend the current model. So why can't we change it? Your speech was amazing. It was filmed. We're going to share it with federal ministers and state ministers. But I also want to invite you to come and work with the QFCC, and we'll do some insights papers using the evidence you collected, and we'll make sure that we can, if you're willing, present that insights paper and take you to Parliament and have you present that to decision makers. So as I sit here and reflect on how special today is, and I'm quite lucky because I get to speak again and close out today and not do anything, but valued, loved and safe. For my role, some of you will know, I'm chair of the Queensland Child Death Review Board. It's not a pleasant job, but it can lead to change. Days like today are the highlight of my year. I see the power, the authenticity and the commitment of our young people. But a review I was part of 2 years ago into Queensland's residential care review enabled me to meet with many young people across the state, and the word belonging kept coming up. So I need to take a moment now. A young person in residential care, not here today, very clearly said to me, I never got a birthday cake until one residential care worker when I was 16 cared enough to make me one. And in that review and in that work we then did with the state government at the time, was trying to transform that system to be one that showed young people they are valued and they do belong. And so I'm going to go completely off script now and watch my staff flip out. But is Caleb in the room? Caleb, if you're willing to stand up or even come up here, your speech was so amazing before lunch. It meant so much for me to hear what you said. Your PowerPoint slide is definitely going straight to parliamentarians around what needs to change. But everyone in the room needs to know it's Caleb's birthday tomorrow. And I would really like us, despite my bad singing, I would like us to sing happy birthday to Caleb. So 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Caleb. Happy birthday to you. Hooray! Hooray! Hooray!